for a minute, think about the most money that you've ever made in a calendar year. Just bring that number to mind. Now for our discussion today, let's use $100,000 as a typical number that a leader would have earned in a year. Imagine what it would be like that instead of earning that $100,000 for a year, you earn that $100,000 a month. The reason people earn $100,000 a year isn't because they want to earn $100,000 a year, it's because they just don't know how to make $100,000 a month. And here's the deal, people that have made a quantum leap in their results, where they've 10x'd what they've been experiencing in terms of their income or any other area that matters to them, understand the one critical truth of transformational leadership. I'm going to share that critical truth with you and give you 3 tips so that you can become a better transformational leader, so that you too can experience whatever version of a quantum leap that you'd love to have. Because here's the deal, there's not only people making $100,000 a month, there are leaders making $100,000 a week. There are leaders making $100,000 a day. There are some leaders that are making much, much more than that. They all understand the single critical truth of transformational leadership. So if you're new to our community, I want to say welcome. I am glad that you're here. My name is John Boggs. I'm the co-founder of the Brave Thinking Institute, where I also serve as CEO, and I'm the founder of our business and leadership division. So the one critical truth about transformation starts with understanding what it means even to be a transformational leader. So let's first unpack the word transformation. It comes in 3 parts: transformation. Trans meaning to go beyond. Form, whatever the current state of the circumstance, situation, and condition is. That's the current form. And ation means the experience of. So transformation means the experience of going beyond the current form. Leadership is about influence or guidance. One of the most common definitions of what it means to be a leader is to guide or influence others in service of some common objective or goal. So let's put it together. Transformational leadership is about holding in mind something beyond the current form and gathering or influencing and guiding a group of people in service of moving things beyond that current form. And all great transformational leaders know one critical truth. And that critical truth is there is a difference between facts and truth. Now, on one hand, that might sound weird. What do you mean difference between truth and facts? Facts are the truth. They are a version of the current state of what we see around us. They are nothing more than the evidence of everything that has been created up until this moment. There was a time in human history where the fact is we couldn't fly. And yet the Wright brothers knew the truth, that with the right technology, we could fly. Steve Jobs famously had what was called his reality distortion field. He believed so much in possibility over the current state of facts that it was said that when you thought something was impossible working at Apple, whenever you got close to Steve and you got into his reality distortion field, you too believed that it was possible. And Thomas Edison said, when you've exhausted all possibilities, remember this one thing: you haven't. You see, all great transformational leaders know that the facts do not determine possibility. The truth is, it's possible. There is possibility beyond the facts that we see. And today, I'm going to give you 3 tips to becoming a better transformational leader. Tip number 1 is to create a compelling vision for a quantum leap, something that you would love. Might just be taking your annual income and making it your monthly income. What's a compelling vision that 10x's the results that you're getting? Transformational leaders create that compelling vision, and then they share that with their teams. We compare that style of leadership with what's referred to as transactional leadership or command and control leadership, where the primary focus from a vision standpoint is asking ourselves, based on the current facts, how can we get a little bit better? Let me give you a great example of what I'm referring to. There's an amazing orchestra conductor and I believe a genius leader named Benjamin Zander. And Benjamin Zander is part of the classical music scene. And he travels the country speaking in alignment with his compelling vision. You see, as part of the classical music scene, The orchestra conductors, their association, their leadership is asking themselves the question, how can we increase popularity in classical music? Right now, about 3% of people love classical music. What can we do to move it to 4%? If we could just move the popularity of classical music from 3% to 4%, what a difference it could make. That is not the question that Benjamin Zander is asking himself, and it's not the compelling vision he has. He's asking himself, how do we get everybody to love classical music? What can I do to inspire young people so they're on fire with classical music? I want everybody to love it. That's his vision. In fact, he has a great TED Talk, if you haven't seen it, where he sits with a group of young people and literally in 20 minutes, he takes them from being apathetic to classical music to loving classical music because he has a compelling vision. It's a key element. You know, I recently helped a real estate company, an amazing woman, Susan. Susan had a brokerage. She was producing about $10 million a year. And when we began to work together, I asked her to complete a compelling vision for herself. And at first it was to move her brokerage from $10 million a year to $20 million a year. That's doubling. That is quite a leap. As we're working with what it would be to create a quantum leap shift, I asked Susan to create a vision of what it would take in 1 year to go from $10 million to $50 million. Who would she have to be? How would she have to think? How would she have to walk? What would it take to create a result like that? And initially her response was to talk about the facts. And I explained to her, we don't deny the facts as transformational leaders. We respect the current state of things, but we know that we are more than that. And we create a compelling vision based on the question, what would we love? That's what transformational leaders do. So she and I set up a vision for $100 million company, not even a $50 million company. That's what she came back with. I said, I love this, Susan. And interestingly enough, by creating a $100 million vision and asking herself, how would she have to lead? What would be the compelling vision? How would it impact her team? Susan that year produced $43 million. She went from $10 million to $43 million in 1 year. The difference between how do I make a small improvement, transactional leadership, and true transformational leadership, you can absolutely increase your transformational leadership by creating a compelling vision. The second tip I have for you in being a great transformational leader is to understand it's all about growth, baby. You know, one of my favorite mentors said, goals aren't for getting, goals are for growing. Now, of course, if we're leading teams, we're leading business, and in our own lives, we want the goal. Goals are important. But the truth is, the real win is always about who we become in the process. And it is a really important tip to becoming a better transformational leader to understand the significance and power in growth. You know, psychologist Abraham Maslow came up with what we called his hierarchy of needs. And there is a major difference in focus from transformational leaders on which needs we're trying to meet compared to normal transactional leaders. The lowest level of needs, he had 5 levels, Maslow did. The lowest level is these physiological needs that we have: air, food, water. Until we get those needs met, really nothing else matters, as you can imagine. The second level of needs we have are the needs for safety, shelter, a regular income, the ability to take care of ourselves, transportation. These are the safety needs. Right above that, he had a level of needs where love and belonging. We want to know that we're part of a community, that we connect with other people. That's the third level of need. The fourth level and the fifth level are where transformational leaders focus. The levels 1, 2, and 3, transactional leaders are all about helping make sure someone gets a regular paycheck, they can keep a roof over their head, they can make their car payment. This is where transactional leaders focus. Transformational leaders focus on the top 2. Level 4 is about esteem. It's about pride in what you do. It's about respect. It's about knowing that you're making a difference. What's your impact in the world? And the 5th level in Maslow's hierarchy of needs is called self-actualization. It's that concept that we are progressing. As human beings, we want to know that we're improving, that we're increasing our results. In other words, it's about growth. And transformational leaders are focused on levels 4 and 5. Purpose, pride in what we do, respect, impact, and of course, growth, knowing that we're progressing. Transformational leaders do a great job. That tip can absolutely help you become a better transformational leader. And the third tip to becoming a better transformational leader is to understand the power of what it means to lead by example. In other words, walk the talk. At the Brave Thinking Institute, our third core value is integrity, which we express in this fashion. We believe in integrity. We live what we teach and we deliver what we promise. And if we're focused with our team on meeting Maslow's highest levels of needs, though the needs for esteem and pride and respect and ultimately growth, it's important as a leader that we understand and number one, see ourselves as part of the team. We are part of the team, and therefore we are doing the things that are required for our own development, for our own personal development and growth. One way that I work on that in my own life is I am a daily reader. I am reading something to help me improve on a daily basis. I firmly believe that leaders are readers, leaders are learners first and always. And then secondly, what we do is we take that learning and we share it with the team. Not only the part that we're learning in concept, but we stay open and vulnerable and we share where we're feeling challenged. We share when we're having wins. We share with transparency. When you are open to being an example, when you are leading by example, that tip makes you a much better transformational leader. So in summary, the 3 tips to being a better transformational leader starts with creating a compelling vision, serving your team's highest needs, and leading by example, all in service of remembering the number one critical truth that all great transformational leaders know, which is that there is a difference between truth and facts. Facts do not determine possibility. You are more than any circumstance, situation, or condition that you're facing, and so am I. And now it's your turn. I bet you've already created a quantum leap. I would love to hear how you've taken a set of facts and you have not bought into what those facts stated, but knowing that you were more than that and created some quantum leap. Tell me about it. I would love for you to comment below. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you like the video and share it with someone that you think can benefit from it. Until next time, my name is John Boggs. Remember, think bravely and act boldly.